evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are watching us from. My name is Comfort Eyitayo, your regular host for Connect with Comfort show. On this program, we aim to add value to people on business, enterprise, and personal growth. We feature pardon me, we feature special guests for each show who helps us to throw more insight on the topic of the day. We have our special guest already in the house today, and we're glad you're able to join us. We welcome you warmly and happy Sunday to you. So, the topic for today is a topic that is directly at the heart of business survival and growth. And the topic is cash flow or crash flow. Cash flow or crash flow. In the world of business and enterprise, profitability often gets the spotlight, but the true lifeblood of every organization is the cash flow. A profitable business can still fail if it cannot pay its bills or meet its payroll, that is, pay its employees or service its debts. That is why we say manage your cash flow or risk watching your business experience crash flow. Today, our conversation is not just about numbers, it is about discipline, foresight, and strategy for cash flow management. It's also about ensuring liquidity, building resilience, and securing sustainability of our businesses. It is also about asking the tough questions. Are we earning enough? Are we collecting on time? Are we spending wisely? As we explore this theme, let us challenge ourselves to rethink how we treat our cash flows, not as an afterthought, but as a deliberate driver of decision making. Because in the end, businesses that master their cash flow do not just survive, they thrive, even in uncertain times. So I invite you all to engage deeply on this topic. You can also share your experiences with us and leave today's session with actionable insights, because the choice is very clear. Is it cash flow or crash flow? The decision rests in how we manage today for sustainability of our tomorrow. Once again, I would like to appreciate you for joining us. Please remain connected while we go on this short break. We'll be right back. Thank you. are welcome back. Like I said earlier, our guest is already in the house, waiting patiently for us to beckon on him. On today's show, I have the pleasure to introduce our special guest, who is no other person than Mr. Omotosho Adeyemi, FCA. Omotosho is a seasoned professional with a solid academic background. He earned a bachelor's degree in accounting from Olabisi Onabanjo University in 2005 and subsequently obtained a Master of Science in Finance from the University of Lagos in 2010. He later pursued a master's in business administration at the University of Nicosia and is currently working towards completing his PhD in business administration. He became a member of the Association of Accounting Technicians AAT in 2000. Additionally, he is a fellow of both the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria (ICAN) and the Institute of Taxation in Nigeria (CITN). Omotosho has over 20 years of diverse experience in financial management and strategy accounting and general management across various industries, including retail, services, IT, and downstream, as well as midstream oil and gas sectors. He is married with children. Please join me in making welcome one of my professional colleagues, Mr. Omotosho.
Thank you very much, ma.
Thank you
Thank you
very
for
much
having me.
for joining us.
Thank you, ma. I'm
Thank
glad
you.
to be here. Thank you very much, ma.
So we'll go straight to our segment, the interview segment, by asking the question that will help our viewers understand the difference in the topic. Because for unsuspecting public, it might look the same, talking of cash flow, and if you don't look carefully, you will not know that you are talking of cash flow. So what is the real difference between profit and cash flow, and why do many businesses confuse the two?
Thank you very much, ma. I think for especially sole proprietorships, one-man businesses, they tend to want to confuse all that together. Cash flow is things that needs to do with your payment and your receipts, and in so doing, just like people try to misunderstand turnover for payment, so anything that needs to do with raw cash is cash flow. Anything that needs to do with cash, inward or outward, is cash flow. And in that cash, you have a subsequent is a kind of a subset of the cash is profit. For instance, if you sell if you buy a particular item for 20 naira, and then you pay 20 naira for it, but at the end of the day you sold it for 30 naira. The 20 naira is a cash flow, is an outward cash flow, which is payment. The 30 naira is a receipt, but inside of that receivable that you have is profit, which is 10 naira. So that would be 30 naira minus 20 naira, which is 10 naira. The 10 naira is profit. So you might, it's possible that you have not collected the receivable. The 30 naira you sold, it's possible that you have not collected it. So the profit is not in your pocket yet until you have received the 30 naira from the person you sold it for. So everything is clear. It should not be misunderstood. Profit is what you can actually calculate that you have gained, even though it has not entered your pocket. But cash flow is actually the cash movement inward your company. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. It can be inward or outward. So you can have an injection of funds that increases your cash flow, and then when you need to make payments or settle your bills, you have cash flow. So I hope we have been able to distinguish that very well. That because at the intro, when we are giving the bias of the topic, we are saying it's possible for a business to be profitable and be having cash flow problem. Some people may wonder why. Now our guest has made us to understand that difference. Thank you very much. So, how can positive profit still lead to negative cash flow? A bit of it is what you have said, but we need to get that expanded.
So well, you there are some businesses that they are making profit, but there is no money in their bank account. That's what it means. The company is profitable, but there is no money. So it means that their money is tied somewhere. It's either that they are actually selling, but they are not collecting those money from the people who are owing them.
Yes,
So
that's true.
it's very difficult for them to run the business. So though what they are selling is profitable, they are making profit, but the money is being held somewhere, which is a really very big problem for some companies. Some companies have over 1,000 customer, and they need an efficient way of managing their debtors in order to make sure that they recover those cash very fast, so that some companies they make it compulsory that the receivable period is about 30 days. Within 30 days they turn the cash over. Very important. So the lesser your cash receivable period, the better for the business.
Thank you very much. We need to look to understand the significance in what our guest is saying. It can actually lead to collapse of a profitable business
Business.
because if you do not have money, which we now refer to as cash flow, to run business, we have said some of the things we need money for: pay employee, pay suppliers. Suppliers will not continue to give you their goods. Employee will not continue to stay if you don't pay them. So the business without the positive this time cash flow will run into troubled waters and can be drowned. So it is that important. We have a question from Bio, and it goes thus. My question is, which is more important for a business, profit or cash flow?
Okay, for me, uh, both of them, they live the other one is like human being without oxygen. You know, there's no way both of them can live without each other. You need cash flow to do business, and when you do business you must make
That's the
profit
profitable.
in order to sustain the business. So it is very very important. Like most of the time, there is no way you can run a business. The blood of a business is actually cash flow. And blood carries oxygen. Without the blood, the business is gone. So once you don't even have, well, I understand what he's saying. Cash flow is very important. It can stifle a business once it's not there. But you see, when you have cash flow and you are not making profit, there is hope for you. But if you don't have cash flow at all, you are dead. So I can say from what I can see now, I can say that cash flow is more important than profit. But the essence of cash flow is actually profit, because it's useless when it's there and you're not making profit. The essence of creating a business is in order to make profit. So why are you in business? Why are you holding cash if you are not making profit? So that's what I say, that you have to, there is a bit of imbalance in the two. You can't do without the two. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So indirectly, there are two sides of a coin. And since we call the cash flow as a lifeblood or bloodline, then definitely, as the blood it is to human being, so is the cash flow to the business
Business.
entity. So thank you very much. So what are the most common causes of poor cash flow in businesses, especially for small, medium enterprises?
Okay. For me, what I see, especially entrepreneurs, for entrepreneurs, once they make their first million, uh, they start increasing their cost. They start traveling, they start unnecessary bonuses and incentives for themselves, and once you increase expenses and there is no corresponding increase in revenue that you are getting, then the business is dying. That's number one. And I call it frivolous spending. That's number one. Number two is when you are investing in capital intensive items that are not bringing a corresponding either profit or revenue. So why are you investing in it? Why are you buying cars of 100 million when the car has no effect? The buying of the car does not have effect on revenue. So why can't you differ, or why can't you go for a lesser car of 20 million or 50 million or something like that? So yeah, so many times that's why businesses crash. And again, lack of planning. A lot of small scale businesses, they don't plan. They just live by the day. As money comes to their pockets, they just spend it, and so many things like that. Another thing is number four is overstocking. Many businesses stock what they don't need. They stock what they can't sell, and so the cash is just sitting down there, and there are money. It's just like a pharmacy. I was trying to look at a pharmacy business recently, and I saw that in the area, people are asking for anti-malaria, but they are stocking antibiotics. So in the sense, the money is sitting in antibiotics, whereas they are looking to buy anti-malaria. So there's need for you to do a market survey in order for you to have a proper plan, in order to allocate the scarce resources called cash flow, in order to now know what exactly how to allocate your cash and then go on with the business. So there are numerous, but I will just mention four out of them, like I've mentioned there.
Okay. Have you landed?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Thank you. So,
Thank,
thank you, ma'am.
thank, thank you very much. I want to say at the quick tail of this question you just answered is this further interrogation of that question, and that's a contribution from Bayo as well, saying, "Have we seen a case of a profitable company that crashed and a lean business that survived downturns due to strong cash flow? Do you have such example?"
Uh, yes, yes. I have such example. The top on my head um, the top of my head is I have not seen any profitable company that crashed. Just for me to say that first, but I've seen a lean business that survived downtowns due to strong um, cash flow too. I don't know if I understand your question very well. So
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah. Yes, sir.
ability to manage your cash flow is a strategy. That's a cash strategy, especially when you are dealing with retails, manufacturing. It's really very difficult for you to turn things around. So in that kind of business, if a business is lean, it can be lean and profitable and also strong cash wise if they are working in line with their capacity. You understand? So there is a capacity of you cannot compare, let me say, a multinational company to a local company. A local company will work according to what they can carry. Their total revenue might just be like 5 million, but a bigger company also might just be a turnover of 15 billion. So, as long as whether they are lean is not a problem, but the question is how efficiently are they managing the cash that is within their coffers? How many days does it take them to turn it around? Go to the market, buy more stock, bring it in. And if it's manufacturing, how often do they pay the vendors for supplies of materials? How often do they sell the product, or the finished product just sits there without being sold, being marketed? So all those things are very much is actually a strategy for a business, no matter the size, either it's lean or it's big. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much. I think the key word there is for us as a business owners to make sure we manage efficiently cash flow. And the example of talking of small businesses is sometimes they are sometimes prone to over trading, which is part of what our guests mentioned. We should try to avoid that temptation to make sure that we do not succumb because we feel, oh, this is a profitable business and we bite more than we can chew at a time. It's very important to make sure that our liquidity is on the front border of what we watch out for. Thank you very much for that. And thank you, Bayo, for those contributions. So, how should businesses balance between receivables, payables, and inventory to prevent cash flow problems?
Okay. Yes, like we know, you should, when it comes to receivables, what you do is that, like I tell my people, I try as much as possible to make my payment period 60 days. That's longer, and make sure that my receivable date is shorter. With that, you are able to. So if payment date is longer, 60 days, I make my receivable period 30 days. And even though it's 30 days, I even make sure that I push so that it's even less than 30 days. The lesser your receivable period, the better for you. And the longer your payment period, the better for you, because it means that you are delaying what you need to pay for, and then you are getting your money on time in order to do other businesses, and then making sure that you also keep in track with. So it's very important for you to be able to balance that. And then you make sure that stock is not piled down. And that one is an example of the downstream businesses where we have them bringing in PMS into the country, and then it's sitting in a tank farm. And while you are doing that, another vessel is on the way bringing another set of PMS. So you have to find a way to sell whatever is there, because the more you wait, the more you wait, the less the cash flow that you have. So there is a system of sales that is on ground that needs to be very efficient, and make sure that the stock you don't need, you don't keep. That is an example of a company that the maximum, the efficient or optimum point of their stock is 20 million, but they are stocking 40 million. They are stocking 40 million and only selling 20 out of the 40 every month. So they have 20 always sitting down in their stock every month. That money could be in the bank at 24% or 28%. So they are losing more by keeping unnecessary stock that they are not supposed to put down. So it is very necessary for the company to know their stock limits, to know to and all talks about planning. Everything talks about planning, because when planning comes in, then you cannot talk about strategy. So there is a stock strategy, there is a cash flow strategy. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much. There's a very important question for us from our online audience, Adefemi Ononuga. It says, can profit be seen as an opinion and cash flow a fact?
Okay, I want to agree with you. Cash flow is a fact. There is nothing you can do to change it. Profit is profit to anybody. Profit can be redefined, especially in the banking system. But for cash flow, if you have it, you have it. For uh, profit, profit is defined by what you call it. You understand? And then just like you have said, an opinion, just an opinion. An opinion. What is cash flow? If I want to define cash flow, I think that is the same way everybody in the whole world will define cash flow. But if I want to talk about profit, the definition of profit in each business is different.
It's
So
relative.
cash flow, in every areas of this life, is a fact. You have it or you don't have it. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much. So it means when we talk of profit being an opinion, it's relative to the organization, what you consider
For
as part of your cost and
profit.
those things that before you now determine what is surplus to that cost. Cost. We have another contribution from Taiwo Ojo from Abuja. She asked, what if there is no receipt or cash flow and there is need for cash outflow? How do we handle this? Should one defer the outflow or take soft loan?
Hmm. This is a lot of complexities. So what I always advise is that my clients should not be in this situation.
Scenario.
And that is why we kept talking about cash flow planning. Cash flow planning. You know what you want to do, but in this case, when you look at no receipts and there is no cash flow, and you need, if you can delay your outflow, is best for you. Just like what I said, make it as long as possible before you buy from them, so that they know that you don't have it now. You understand? And then while you work on getting the cash, So you being able to handle this is really very dicey. I would say that negotiate with your creditors, tell them that you don't have it now. If it is 60 days you gave them before, just look at the best possible time you are going to do it. Negotiate with them, increase the number of days you are going to pay back, and then you work on your debtors to make sure that you get the money back. If the expenses is very, very pressing, I don't know about soft loan. So what kind of loan do you want to? Okay, soft loan, you cannot invest, you cannot put this kind of loan into your business if you are not sure of when you are going to get your money back from the other debtors. If you don't know it, there's no need, there's no way um, you can bargain, because a lot of businesses have run into problems by committing to a loan they were unable to pay. You understand? So it's either you defer the payment you want to make and wait till you get defer the payment you want to make and wait till you get your money back from your debtors, or if the soft loan is if the payment is certain that you are going to get it, then you can take the soft loan. If it's certain that, okay, you're going to get this money in the next 15 days with a guarantee, then you can take the soft loan. But mind you, the interest you are going to pay must not override the profit you are making from the sales you have made to the person. So you need to look at a strategy to make sure that the interest, the profit is intact. For instance, if if the money you are expecting, you have a profit of say 20,000 naira, and then the loan you are taking is just 5,000, I can say that yes, you can take the loan and quickly settle it, and then make sure that you get your money back as long as it's guaranteed. But once it's not guaranteed, I would not advise you to take such. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I hope Taiwo is satisfied with that. Anyway, by virtue of saying soft loan, I want to believe that it could be interest free or a friendly loan. But the important thing is, like our guest said, it has to be what you are expecting to fund the cash outflow with is guaranteed inflow that is definite within a short period. Because why the question looks complex is that if it's something that you can defer, to me, it means it's not crucial. It is not pressing. If you are asking if it can be deferred, obviously, if it can be deferred, the best thing is to defer it so
Defy
that you
it.
don't put yourself into that log jam. But if it's something that is very pressing and perhaps it's another fuel into your business that is very, very crucial at that point in time, you may want to consider that soft loan. Soft loan, by definition, means it's not really at arm's length, my understanding. So you may want to consider it, but at the same time, soft or hard, you do not want to run foul of your creditors. So that's why the advice of being very certain of the inflow that is expected before you now reach out to taking any form of loan at all. Thank you very much. What are the early warning indicators? Having said all this, we should be able to know the warning signs that we should watch out for so that we will get to be guided as when to start tightening our belt. So, what are the early warning indicators that a business is moving from cash flow to crash flow?
Thank you very much, man. I when I speak with most entrepreneurs, I see that many times they don't set their priority right, and it is a very general problem. Um, Most of the time, they are very ready to give out credit. They are ready to give out credit in order to increase their revenue, and they continue giving out credit. Receivables is rising, but there is zero naira in the account, So when you are in that case, you see that the cash in your account is not increasing, but you see that the number of people owing you is increasing, then there's a problem. There's a problem. There's a big problem. And if care is not taken, if you are not careful to actually strategically look at your credit policy and tighten it up, is going to have a problem for you. So early warning sign is when you see that your receivables is going up and your cash in the bank is going down. That is a very big problem. And then when you see that, number two is when you see that your stock is not moving as fast as possible. They are now slow moving. Then it means that is either you're not marketing well, or you are stocking slow moving products which the market does not need. So all these things needs to do with you critically looking at your business and making sure there's something I call value management, and making sure all the monies you are putting into expenses has value. They are adding value to your business at the barest minimum. All the monies you are spending on buying products, it's providing value. Stocking in the right stock. It means that you have to do a market research. Many entrepreneurs don't do market research before they launch into buying different ones. They just go to the market, give me 3 of that, 4 of that, and they bring everything together, and at the end of the day, nobody is buying. It's only one product that is buying, that is selling. So when you put so much money in stock and you are not really selling them very well, it's a sign that your business is going to is go, on a verge of crashing. So you need to look at that and make sure that such thing does not happen to you. Thank you very much. I think at the top of my head, I just had 3 of those to talk about.
Thank you very much. Now, which financial tools or digital solutions are most effective for monitoring and forecasting cash flow?
Okay, so there are many ERPs. So for the ERPs, they help you in like
For the benefit
there
of
is
our audience, maybe you need to explain ERP, enterprise.
okay. Yeah, so there are softwares that you can actually software that you can actually install that can help you monitor your stock. For instance, if you are into manufacturing, even if it's pure water, can actually monitor your raw materials, your everything for you, the sales, and give you some kind of indicators that you can. So there are ERPs out there, a lot of them, QuickBooks. At the top of my head, I can't really talk some of them now. But if you cannot afford that, there are models on Excel that you can buy from business consultants like us, who can help you to structure it and then look at it. They will tell you your stock levels, when you are supposed to go to market, buy another one, your minimum levels and things like that. So everything, nothing works without you being strategic about it. Nothing works. You just have to be intentional about everything. That is called strategy. You have to be intentional about everything. And being intentional, you need a tool to make you make those decisions. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. In trying to explain some pitfalls that small businesses fall into, we mentioned the over trading. Now, how can growth-oriented businesses avoid over trading that drains their cash flow? If we have already identify it as one of the pitfalls.
So Number one question that I would say is know your business. When you know your business, it means that you know the demand, you know the supply very well. And then number two is that know your numbers. When you know your numbers, it tells me about you being able to know what quantity you need to go and buy. Like for instance, I gave you an analogy of a pharmacy store that was storing up to like 40 million stock, and they don't need it, and it's just sitting down there. So before you even agree on what to stock, you need to do a market research and make sure that all the numbers that you are going to ask for, the what you are going to buy with a buffer, is going to be what the people need, and because of that is going to move on time, and it will help you generate cash flow and help you to go back to the market and store the exact thing. And at each time you make sure that you are tweaking the strategy based on market changes in order to make sure that that does not happen. So for some people, they just run business without being intentional about them. So it's very, very important that you just don't run just because you have money and then you just put everything into the. It must come with. It must be on deliberately. You must do that deliberately, and being deliberate talks about being strategic. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much. So, how can businesses build resilience so that cash flow challenges don't escalate into financial crash?
Hmm. So, uh, uh, there's a lot. To run a business is not easy at all. So, what I always tell people is to go back. You see that almost everything I'm talking about is strategy, 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 and strategy need to do with a lot of planning. So, if you want to run a successful business and you don't want to run into problem, you have to put all the time to planning ab initio. Know your numbers, know exactly what you need, know what to stock, how much to stock, when to stock. That is when you know exactly what you're. And if you are doing business, you also know your customer. I was talking to a fashion designer last week, and our complaint was that our receivables were increasing. It's just like she's just working for them. I said no. So if that is the case, look at the list of your customer, stratify them based on affordability. Those ones that you know that you will sell to and will not pay, strike them out. So put all your strength on the customers that are ready to pay. They can afford it, they can pay. So in doing that, you are not causing yourself a lot of headaches, because the people who will not even pay are pricing you low. So look at it. How do you want to do it? Do you want to base on doing volume at a very small profit, or you want to stratify and go for affordability level to stratify your customer? So there's a lot of strategy that needs to do with different kinds of businesses in order for you to make sure that you form resilience. A lot of companies, like I said, a lot of companies, when they begin to see some kind of success, they start increasing their expenses. And when you increase your expenses like that, very very soon, the blood of the business is going to run dry. It's not going to be there. So I'll advise them to make sure that even when you want to pay your employees, your prices are competitive. It's not that it's very outrageous. And for you as an entrepreneur too, you see them traveling from one country to another using the business money because they made one or two lot of cash from one or two projects, and because of that, they just feel that is money, and so because of that, they try to go out of hand, spending anyhow. So don't do that. Delay gratification is very, very much important as SMEs. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Can you share a real life example of business that managed cash flow successfully versus those that crashed due to poor management of cash flow?
All right. Thank you very much. I have an example of a company that did that, and try and quickly look at what they did. The first thing they did was the turnover strategy, the turnover itself. They did a research to make sure that what they are selling are things that people need from day to day. You cannot miss it. And they did it in such a way that you can't but buy from them. The price strategy was such that it was very affordable and better than every other product in the system. So once you make sure that your turnover is bringing you cash all the time, it is very, very good. And what they did with their expenses was that they bring in their employees at a very low amount and very competitive, and try as much as possible to just incentivize them in such a way that they are motivated from time to time, you know, uh, such that the costs are not growing the way that um, the turnover is also growing. And they had plan on how to increase year upon year on their spread of turnover. So it's very, very important for you to look at that, look at the turnover, number one, because it's a turnover that is bringing money into. And after you have even sold, the next thing is for you to collect. So you need to put more effort into collection. In fact, it's someone was employed in order to go after employee debtors to make sure that they get those things as at when due. So when you put a dedicated person, and his KPI is about receipt. So once the money is coming every time, it's easier. And I can tell you, the company has never gotten, I've never applied for any loan anywhere. Why? Because of the strategy of the sales and the strategy of the recovery. Very important. And then number three is the strategy of low cost. Low cost, strategy of recovery, strategy of the turnover, which is like business model, is designed in a way that you must afford their product and you must use their product. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. It's well said. So, what would you consider as the biggest lesson entrepreneurs and managers should take away from this experience that has been shared today?
Number one, plan. He who does not plan, plans to fail. It's very important that you plan. For you to know your business, for you to know that critical part of your business, you have to plan. It is when you are planning, you see those things, you see those. In fact, it helps you to know your figures. So, number one, plan. Plan, very, very important. And when you planning, it is out of your planning that strategy comes out. So you have to plan. Then number two, you have to involve those who knows about this figure. Don't do it. You can't help yourself. If you don't have what you don't know, you don't know. So you have to engage people who are specialists in this area to help you out. Ask questions. Number three, delayed gratification, especially for entrepreneurs. And there's no need for you to show off that you have arrived. The more you wait, the more you manage your expenses, and the clearer the future for you. So it is very important for you to do that. And then number four is that you need to get knowledge of this. That's why you are here today, to get more learning. When you leave here, go and learn more about it and make sure that it's part of you, because liquidity is something your eyes must be watching every day. You have to be watching it every day, else your business might have some challenges. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you very much. You've been wonderful, Motosho, and appreciate your great insight that you shared to this topic. We appreciate you highly. While we were on the show, we had some people join us online. This include Adenuga Femi, Ayemi from Lagos as well, Bayo also from Lagos, and Ojo from Abuja, Olamilekan Oladujoye, I think he's a friend of our guest. Thank you all for joining. I hope you've learned one or two points from this show. So we want to appreciate our special guest for doing us proud.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much. I
Thank you,
appreciate you.
ma'am. Yes,
And
ma'am.
I'm sure those points will resonate very well to our business people.
Thank
While
you
we
very
do
much.
thank you also for your contribution, as well as Bayo and Adenuga Femi. We must have at the back of our mind that cash flow is very, very important. Like we said, it's a lifeblood of business. And saying that, relating to the question that Adenuga Femi once asked, the importance, I mean, the revenue is vanity. You can look at revenue as vanity, profit as sanity, but cash flow as reality. That places cash flow above
Above
the rest.
everything.
So I want to use that to help to crown that note that we've learned from our guests today. So, as we are rounding off today's discussion on cash flow or crash flow, one truth stands tall. Cash flow is not just a financial term, it is the lifeblood of every business, ministry, and even household. A venture may have great ideas, strong assets, or even impressive profits on paper, and that is why it is likened to opinion. But without healthy cash flow, it risks grinding to a halt. The difference between thriving and crashing often lies in how deliberately we manage inflows and outflows. Our guest told us that clearly, that we have to be deliberate about it. Cash flow is about foresight, discipline, and strategy, knowing when to spend and to collect and where to invest. It is about ensuring liquidity today while safeguarding sustainability for tomorrow. So, as we live here today, let us remember profit without cash is an illusion. Growth without cash is risky expansion. And planning without cash flow management is simply wishful thinking. I believe that spells clearly to us how important this simple word cash flow is to our business. The choice before us is very clear: cash flow or crash flow. I know nobody will want to opt for crash flow. May we be wise stewards, proactive managers, and resilient leaders who choose flow over cash. So I want to thank all of you once again for your attention, for your participation and contribution on this show today, and once again to appreciate our guest for this great insights that he has given us on this very unique and important topic. I hope you have all enjoyed today's episode. If so, please remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Comfort Eyitayo. Once you have subscribed, please turn on the notification button, like and share our videos. Stay updated with information about upcoming events, solutions, and offers on my Instagram account at Comfort Eyitayo, as well as my Facebook account at Comfort Eyitayo. Till I come your way again, let us strive to always make our endeavors experience the abundance of positive cash flow so that our businesses will remain sustained. Thank you very much for joining us today. God bless.